Waiting for word on who was killed in last night's U.S. airstrike against an al-Qaeda-linked terror group in Somalia. National Security Correspondent Jennifer Griffin is following developments from the Pentagon tonight.
Good evening, Brett. Pentagon officials are still awaiting evidence in the form of DNA or online chatter by al-Shabaab itself that last night's airstrike south of Mogadishu was successful.
U.S. officials cannot confirm the U.S. strike in Somalia killed the head of al-Shabaab, but the Pentagon confirmed he was the target.
This operation was a direct strike against the al-Shabaab network, specifically the group's leader, Ahmed Abdi al-Mohammed, also known as Ahmed Gadan. We are still assessing the results of the operation.
An operation carried out by airborne U.S. special operators, Predator drones, and manned aircraft that assisted with the targeting. U.S. Hellfire missiles rained down on a vehicle and an encampment used by al-Shabaab. Just last year, Gadan claimed responsibility for the attack on the Westgate Mall in Nairobi, Kenya, a prolonged suicide attack that killed 67 people. Following that attack, the U.S. sent a team of uniformed military advisors to Mogadishu to coordinate with the Somali military as they tried to fight al-Shabaab. Defenders of the president say this kind of stealth operation using U.S. military advisors and targeted drone strikes is in fact the military counterterrorism strategy that President Obama will be remembered for.
Absolutely, there's a strategy for our approach to the Middle East.
A series of persistent, targeted efforts to dismantle specific networks of violent extremists that threaten America.
Compared to President Bush, analyst Peter Beinart describes this fierce minimalism, quote, with rare exceptions, Obama only unsheathes his sword against people he thinks might kill American civilians. A recent example, U.S. AFRICOM stood by and watched as Libyan Islamist militias celebrated at the CIA residential compound in Tripoli, just weeks after the U.S. ambassador and embassy personnel were forced to abandon Libya as Islamist militias fought for control of the capital. No U.S. personnel were threatened and no U.S. warplanes were sent to protect the compound.
Meanwhile, the president has authorized the Pentagon to open a second drone base in Niger, expanding its network of surveillance bases in Africa, bases like the one used to target the head of al-Shabaab in Somalia last night, Brett.